Joseph.
Well, thanks very much, Bill. Look, I think it's great that startups and innovation, new jobs are on the front pages of our newspaper, but let's be very clear, there's a reason that they're on the front page of our newspaper, and that's because of the work that Bill Shorten's been doing over the last 12 months, over the last 2 years in this area, setting the agenda, putting innovation on the national political agenda. You saw that in the budget reply speech when we said we need to teach coding to kids from primary school all the way up. And just look at the plan that the government announced yesterday. About half the policies are Labor Party policies, are Bill Shorten policies. About half the policies Malcolm Turnbull announced yesterday are ideas that he's taken from Bill Shorten and the Labor Party. So we're glad the government's taking Labor Party's policies. They could look at a few other areas where they should learn from some of the good policies Bill Shorten has announced and implement those as well. One of the areas where they need to really think again is the NBN. In the area of the NBN is now rolling out slower than Malcolm Turnbull promised, and it's costing more, much more, than Malcolm Turnbull promised. He said he'd build the NBN. This was a promise at the last election. He promised he'd build the NBN for $29.5 billion. That's now blown out to up to $56 billion. He also promised that all Australians would get access to the NBN by the end of next year. Now that's blown out to 2020. And next week, it'll be 12 months since Malcolm Turnbull bought back the old copper network that John Howard sold last century. And it's now clear that when he bought that copper network back, he had no idea how much it would cost to fix it and to repair it, because the cost of that has blown out by 900%. Now, most people don't get promoted when they blow their budget by 900%. Most people get the sack for doing that, but Malcolm Turnbull's been promoted not for what he did on the NBN, but in spite of it. And let me just make one more point on this. The NBN company now is trialling a new technology. They know that their copper NBN is not going to be good enough for the future, so they're now trialling something called fibre to the distribution point, or an easy way to understand that is fibre to the driveway. They're trialling this now. I suspect before the next election they will announce that they're going to ditch their copper NBN and roll out fibre to the driveway instead. And when they do, remember this point, it will be proof that Malcolm Turnbull got it wrong on the NBN.